Wake up, kids, it's Joe and Nick for your weekend vacation. Grab your stool, squat on down for crappy animation. Let the gangsta commentary prop open your eyelids and watch some TV shows that have it even worse than they did. So fill your bowls, use your spoons, it's Saturday morning cartoons.
Happy
Saturday!
Hello, Caitlin, you're back.
I'm back, baby, with such
Yay.
force that I knocked Joe out of the picture. So
Yes.
real
Joe is traveling, so we just have the three important people for this
Who
week's
pay
episode.
attention.
yeah.
Right. We got Nick of the Found Footage Festival, VCR Party Live, and Chop and Steal. You know him as Chop.
Mhm.
Professor Caitlin McGurk of the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library and Museum in Columbus. I'm George, the Remora clinging unnoticed to their ravenous shark of comedic infotainment. And today we're going to watch a classic 2-episode G.I. Joe storyline from 1985 that's been cut to fit our the time we have.
Okay.
And it's been modified for the overseas market, and hopefully it's been modified enough to get YouTube to actually air it. And we'll also hear from voice actor Neil Ross, who played Shipwreck on G.I. Joe and several hundred characters in live action and animated TV, radio, film, and video games.
I'm excited for that. That's a big get.
Totally. Way
And
to
he's
go,
the
George.
star of this episode.
He is? Like,
yes.
what else has he been in, George?
Oh, well, let's see. I give a complete rundown, but of cartoons, he has been in Humanoids, Centurions. He was Rambo in Rambo.
Oh, my God.
He's Transformers, Voltron. He was the main character in Voltron.
So he's as busy as Welker, basically. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, and we've got lots of Welker stories too.
Okay,
And that's really
fantastic.
what a lot of people are here for. But nicest guy in the world. But for all that, let's talk
Yes.
cereals and mugs. Nick, what do you got?
Well, I was in Atlanta on tour this past week, and I stopped into a store called Junkman's Daughter, and wouldn't you know it, I found a Cinnamon Toast Crunch hat.
Yes.
There it is. It's got a little Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy on it, and that is my favorite cereal. I got a bowl of it this morning, and now I have a hat with perhaps the thickest embroidery. I don't know if you can see the dimension on
Sort of
that, but
three-dimensional, yeah. That's wonderful. I want to touch it. It looks like it feels really nice.
it feels terrific. If anybody sees me on the street wearing it, feel free to stroke it. And it's my new hat wear. So no nightcap tonight.
All right. Wow.
What do you have, Caitlin?
I don't have any cereal at the moment, but I'm still working my way through the amazing gifts I was given at MelindaCon. And this is a Maxine mug that was given to me by Christopher.
Wow.
A couple little Maxine quotes on there. I'm not grouchy by nature. It takes constant effort. That one's not as relatable for me personally, but this one, I'm a little too upbeat, actually. Breakfast in bed, isn't that just cleaning up crumbs from last night's midnight snack? That one is kind of relatable. I remember multiple times when I was younger of like waking up in the morning with goldfish crackers just like swimming around me from my evening before.
Really? You eat goldfish crackers in bed as a kid?
I mean, not as a kid, as like in my 20s.
Yesterday.
little nighttime snack.
When's the last time you've eaten in bed? I'm trying to think if I've done that recently. I don't think so.
I eat breakfast in bed like
Do you?
every weekend.
I eat breakfast in other people's beds.
Ooh.
Hey-o. George, what do you have this week?
So this is a real mug that I bought. I didn't buy it. It was bought for me at the Denver Museum of Natural History in 1982 when my parents drove my brother and I around the country.
Aww.
And we drove them crazy. But I, of course, love dinosaurs. And it was a great exhibit. And we're sort of cleaning out my dad's house. And so I have a bunch of early 80s legit vintage mugs that hopefully are interesting to other people. We'll find out.
That's a collector's item, that mug. I bet that's pretty rare.
But I'm also bringing something that I'm sorry Joe's not here for it, but I'm bringing something gross. And that is I have dental woes. And I'm going to show you something insane. I have a tooth that is mobile. You're going to watch this and get ready to be grossed out.
I'm going to have nightmares about this.
This isn't movie magic, folks. This is an animated tooth.
A dental implant gone wrong. The pain is intense. Watch this tooth, okay?
All right.
Is this tooth right here?
Yeah. Looks pretty white. Oh! No. Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
I might cut that out. We'll see.
That. I feel like Joe is going to be incredibly proud of you for showing that.
Yeah, a gross mouth thing? That's fantastic.
A gross mouth thing. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, enough of that. Today we're going to watch There's No Place Like Springfield, the two-part season 1 finale of G.I. Joe from 1985. This is my absolute favorite cartoon and cartoon episode of the 80s. And so while Hasbro is showing these on YouTube and would never allow us to repost it for a rewatch, I found that someone else posted the Action Force version of these same episodes that aired in Britain. So let's watch a mashup of commercials for these very American toys from around the world to put us in the mood for what's ahead. Cultural imperialism.
G.I. Joe! 地上最強のエキスパートチーム G.I. Joe 登場
Lleva misiles, es malvado su poder de fuego y su transbordador siempre acechando a G.I. Joe.
Cobrador a son propre serpent apprivoisé.
Attention!
Les motos Mirage pourront-elles intercepter Cobrador?
Il s'enfuit! Poursuivons-le!
Cobra contre G.I. Joe. Qui va l'emporter?
Zasadniczyśmy! Kaleszcze to Monster Blaster! Mona Soborina w sami bedopi! Mega Marine! Neiro e G.I. Joe medioni Chiba no
G.I. Joe from Fun School, a new adventure every time. Start collecting now.
Oh, that's great. That was awesome.
Love it. I have a story about French G.I. Joe. I was in Quebec City with my dad when I was, 13 or something. And the two things I remember about that trip, not going to see La Chateau de Frontenac or the Walled City or anything like that. I remember, one, going to a Burger King and seeing some French-Canadian punk rockers drinking those little creamers at Burger King that were free. They didn't pay for anything at Burger King. They just had that little bowl of creamers and they were drinking them like that.
So punk rock.
And then the other thing I remember is watching G.I. Joe and Transformers in the hotel there and not thinking that it'd be in French, but then it was like, Les Transformers, Gent enfants. And then G.I. Joe 2 was like, Les G.I. Joe. And so that was my first taste of foreign cartoons.
I love it.
Well, that was an incredible thing that Neil Ross told me about, was that the laws for advertising cartoons and toys were that you could not advertise a toy during the same cartoon. So that was why G.I. Joe and Transformers ran back to back, was so that you could show Transformers commercials during G.I. Joe and G.I. Joe commercials during Transformers as a way of getting around the FCC rules about advertising to kids. Also, that that Japanese commercial showed the toys like moving in stop motion, that was illegal in the U.S. at the time.
Oh, because they think that they would move.
Yes.
Okay.
That way you'd be disappointed in a different way when you got the toys.
I assume you guys were both big G.I. Joe collectors or player with. Did you play with them?
Did you have any?
Yeah,
I mean, I think my brother had some. I remember like melting one at some point. That's like a rite of passage, like trying to at least. But
yeah, I have a specific memory of being at Joe's house in middle school and with his brothers pulling the arms, because they were kind of on a rubber band, pulling the arms and legs off, putting black cat firecrackers in them, and then lighting them and just seeing what would happen to the G.I. Joes.
I mean, it was either that or Joe would do that to his siblings, right? So
yeah, it was either that or do it to the G.I. Joes.
Yeah. Okay, so the deal is that Action Force is the licensed version of the G.I. Joe cartoon that was shown in England to go along with the Action Force action figures sold by a company called Palitoy in Britain that were licensed from the G.I. Joe action figures from Hasbro. So they were doing both at the same time, the action figures and the cartoon. And this was similar to that in the 60s. Palitoy had the big G.I. Joes, the large ones.
Oh, yeah.
That they licensed from Hasbro's big G.I. Joes. So weirdly, Action Force had started as a completely different sort of toy line.
Gentlemen, the world is in terrible peril from this man, Baron Ironblood, an evil genius who is determined to rule the world. These are the creatures he has created to help him. Now you must create your own action force dedicated to the Baron's downfall. Captain Campbell, you will take command of Z-Force, land-based attack troops. Captain Buckingham, the SAS, Crack Commando Squad. Captain McLaren, Q-Force, Subaquatics, and Captain Connors, Space Force. Expect the unexpected. Where will the Baron strike next? Action Force toys. The battle has just begun.
But then they decided to just start licensing from G.I. Joe. So you'll see a U.S. commercial for a G.I. Joe toy, and then the dubbed into British version.
When I think of Z-Force, I think of like Bobcat Goldthwait and Police Academy. Like,
oh, I thought you were gonna say Zed from Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yo, that'd be a good Z-Force too. Yeah.
Televipers launch light pods.
Cobra's flight pods are on the attack. Look out, Joe! Cobra striking back.
Cobra's got the formula. Cobra! The Mirage will stop him. Get aboard, Bazooka!
G.I. Joe!
It would never be this fun.
G.I. Joe Mirage, Cobra flight pod, and Joe and Cobra figures sold separately.
Joe!
Action Force has the formula intercepted. Televipers launch the flight pod.
As the Action Force escape on the Silver Mirage, Cobra follows closely.
Fighting to save the
Bit too closely, eh, Cobra? Fall!
Cobra flight pod and the Action Force Silver Mirage sold separately.
So they had, ultimately the same action figures, but instead of yelling in the cartoons, instead of yelling "Yo Joe," somebody would very poorly dub over "Action Fools." Or if there was like the dubbing is not, they didn't try to make it sound like it. They had one guy and one woman, and they just dubbed those parts, and they sound nothing like it. And that's how we're going to watch There's No Place Like Springfield.
Yes.
To me, a mind-melting, mind-bending episode. Nick, do you remember this at all?
No, I mean, I was not a regular G.I. Joe cartoon watcher, to say nothing of Action Force. So I'm thrilled about this. I can't wait.
I hope we can get away with it. This is cut down. I highly recommend watching the whole two-parter. It was like 45 minutes that I cut to 22. So we'll see.
Okay.
This should be semi-coherent.
Enjoying the soundtrack.
It's Action Force against Cobra, the enemy, fighting to save the day. They will never give up. They're always there, fighting for freedom over land and air. Action Force! International heroes. Action Force are there. Action Force will dare. Action Force!
Colonializing island nations.
Force. Its purpose to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization.
Action Force! International
You can't say terrorism in cartoons anymore, right?
I don't think so. I don't know if the Native American G.I. Joe makes sense with the British Action Force, but this sounds like the title of a Simpsons episode.
Right.
Hit the beach! Hit the beach! Duck and cover!
No.
On your belly, sailor! On your...
Shut your beak, you little moron. This place could be crawling with cobras.
So I should point out that Neil Ross does Shipwreck, and in this episode, he does Polly the Parrot.
Oh, he does the parrot and
Yes.
the Jack Nicholson-esque Shipwreck.
Right, very Jack Nicholson, yeah.
The parrot in other episodes is voiced by Frank Welker.
Mm.
Lots of Welker
Kalen,
talk.
your instincts were correct.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
It was an animal.
He did play the hip-hopping parrot in the Wolfman Jack cartoon, I should point out, too. So it's not his first parrot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Lady J, and that's Shipwreck. Professor Mulaney?
John?
Come on, Ship. He needs nourishment. You remembered the rations, I hope.
Yeah, but this joker's gonna need more than a candy bar and instant noodle soup.
They've been after me, Cobra, day and night, night and day. Didn't dare let myself sleep.
I like the
Your
character
message
model.
said Cobra kidnapped you and forced you to work on a new secret weapon.
Yes, the formula. It could turn a lake, a stream, even an ocean into a veritable bomb of unimaginable explosive power.
Where are they keeping this formula, Professor?
Except for one ingredient. It's at the place they call Temple Alpha.
Temple Alpha? Their central headquarters? We've been searching years for that joint.
Wait, the missing ingredient. Where?
In here. Cobra doesn't know what it is. Without it, the formula won't work.
Then we're getting you and the secret out of here, Professor.
Salt.
Perhaps, young lady. I sincerely hope so. However, in case I don't survive...
What have you done to him? What is this thing?
Neuralink.
Yes.
It transmits data electrochemically.
It kind of looks like one of those things you could get at like Spencer Gifts that like were scalp massagers that had the
right.
tongs.
Directly to the brain.
You put the formula in there?
Hey, it ain't like he flushed it down the sewer, you know. Anyway, if it's really in my noodle, how come I don't remember it?
It's locked in your subconscious, where Cobra cannot force it from you.
But how do we get it out?
With this code word. Upon hearing that word, he'll sink into a trance and recite the formula.
Like muck, I will. You're gonna be there to tell him yourself.
They're coming!
They're saying like muck, I will.
Oh, I've never seen this before. This guy
You
talks
have?
I've never seen this before. This cartoon in general.
Mm-hmm.
This voice actor, when doing this character, does this Jack Nicholson voice the whole time. Like this is. It's amazing.
Is it like from The Last Detail? Like, because he was a sailor.
Yeah, he talks
in that
about
movie?
that.
Oh,
that
okay.
specifically. That
okay.
But generally, G.I. Joe episodes focus on like 5 to 10 characters.
Okay.
This one is entirely him. Almost
Wow.
entirely
Tour
him.
de force.
It's
right.
amazing.
Yeah.
And the parrot too. Wow.
Yeah.
Lady J, Professor.
You can't bet a nickel, Mancini.
Are you all right?
Shipwreck? Where's the professor?
Professor.
Professor Mulaney?
Come on, wherever you are. Figures. Not so much as a singed feather.
Come on. Keep it moving. We'll come back for Mulaney.
If there's anything to come back for... Not to rush you or anything, but this would be a perfect time to take off.
This is a very intricate plot for a
Oh, you have no idea where this is going.
after-school cartoon.
We don't stand a chance up here. I'm going to attempt a landing.
Don't attempt, do it!
We're going down. Brace yourself.
The joke was that the laser guns never hit anything, right?
Yeah.
Here's a gourmet dish for you. I call it fire bat stew.
Fire bats.
Roadblock. Forget the rattlers. Get that shark. Consider it got.
Women and parrots first.
Sure you don't want me to carry you up?
Just get going. Come on, you hunk of substandard plastic, open up! Let me out of this tub!
If that shark goes under again, Shipwreck will drown.
Clear the deck!
That's like the end of The Perfect Storm, where it's going up.
All right, mates, let's finish the job.
Is that supposed to be an Australian accent or a Cockney?
Yeah.
No! I gotta get out! Abandon ship! Abandon ship! I can't!
Oh my god. You're eating like Lunchables after school? Your favorite character is drowning?
What happened? Where am I?
Springfield Medical Center.
Miss Ratchet?
A hospital? Who won?
You lost. Your satellite dish fell off the roof, and you took a nasty spill off that ladder. You gave us all a scare, Mr. Delgado, especially your family.
Uncle Al? He's here?
No, not Uncle Al.
But he's the only family
Your wife, Mr. Delgado.
My wife?
They'd like to see you if you're ready.
Hector. Oh, thank heaven.
Daddy, you're all better!
Sailor Moon?
I ain't nobody's daddy. Great. Look, what happened to Lady J and the flag?
The flag? The flag sank 6 years ago.
6 years ago?
You really don't remember?
Nothing. Tell me all of it.
Okay, but I feel silly telling this story to the man who lived it.
Well, you impregnated me during your coma.
You managed to escape a watery grave.
Previously
You were
on
a
G.I.
hero
Joe.
of the battle. Single-handed, you fought your way into Cobra Commander's throne room and took him captive. Cobra was smashed forever.
I was the big hero, huh?
Don't you remember me anymore, Daddy?
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Doc.
Shipwreck. Nurse Deming tells me you're suffering from partial amnesia.
It's starting to look that way.
Does that mean he'll have to stay in the hospital, Doc?
No, I want my daddy home.
Well, he seems to be in perfect health otherwise. Maybe going home will help him recover his
Is this a
memory.
ruse by Cobra?
Why not?
The mystery is seriously intriguing.
It really is.
Number
yeah.
6 Village Drive.
So he's at number 6 Village Drive, which, if you watch the show The Prisoner, the village was where Patrick McGowan lived, and 6 was his number.
Wow.
By the way, this episode was written by Steve Gerber, who was the creator of Howard the Duck and other less cartoonish things for Marvel, and so this is there's some good writing in this.
We're home?
Of course
I wish
we
the
are, Daddy.
shipwreck action figure came with one of those bandage caps that you could put on and off.
Nice house.
Amnesia Shipwreck.
How you feeling, sailor?
I'm sure it's out there now as a Funko.
Well, at least one thing hasn't changed.
Althea and I are going shopping with Scarlett this afternoon. Probably be a good idea if you stayed home and rested a bit, okay?
Sounds good to me. Maybe when I wake up, it'll all turn out to be a dream.
I like that decor.
Yeah, we're gonna do that soon.
Ship wheel and 2 guns. Oh my god. Horrifying.
Bon voyage, sailor!
What? His own parrot turned against him?
It's like Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah. Everything.
What did Mulaney say to you? If you value your life, speak! Not going to talk, eh? Then kiss tomorrow goodbye!
What the hell?
Hector, oh darling, a bad dream?
The worst.
Oh my darling.
Daddy, dinner's ready. Come on.
Dinner?
Look at that fish statue.
What is that? Is it a
You
sculpture?
had a very long
One
nap,
of those,
Hector.
like,
An angler fish.
Deep sea angler.
Yeah.
Lights out.
Uh-oh, Polly's turned
Do parrots live that long?
And bless Mommy and Daddy and me and the President and
evil. The
Stupid.
president.
Amen.
Who's stupid?
My kitty cat, Dolly. Don't you remember anything, Daddy?
If I have a cat, I'm gonna name it Stupid. Can we all make a pact?
Great. Look at that poor thing.
Yeah, it's a hideous animal, whatever it is.
Maybe tomorrow you will, huh?
Maybe so, Althea.
Come here, Stupid.
Maybe so.
Come here, Stupid.
Good night.
Is that your name?
Hector, sit down, dear. You look like you're going to cry. What's the matter?
I never figured myself for the two-car suburban daddy type, but maybe this is what I always wanted.
Your name is
You
Shipwreck.
sound like someone's going to steal it from you at any moment.
That's how it feels, Mara.
Kids cartoon, by the way.
How come I don't remember this house, the kid? I don't even remember our wedding.
You'll remember, darling,
Oh,
soon
I
enough.
wanna reenact that
I'm
wedding
going to
photo.
turn down the covers. We'll get a
Or
good
just
night's
have that
rest,
one framed.
and tomorrow you'll go to work.
Yes.
That'll help your memory, too.
Yeah, I suppose. But where do I work?
Oh my. Car wash?
Saturday morning cartoon about PTSD.
Exactly.
The information now, or we'll destroy your happy home.
I can't be the only one who had a thing for Baroness, right?
Hector, please wake up!
Mara, sweetheart, I think I'm going crazy.
Is that a California king? Look how huge that bed was. It's enormous.
That was also the only thing I was paying attention to.
Wow.
Jesus. You could have a...
You could have every action figure from G.I. Joe.
I can't believe nobody has cosplayed as Shipwreck's bed. But
the next Comic-Con.
Something's wrong. Huh? The car wash from my dream. Roadblock? Hey, Roadblock! It's me, Shipwreck! I'll find him when he comes out. Roadblock! What's going on in there?
Sure was toasty.
What?
Help! He's melting! Somebody help!
Okay, Mac, take it easy. We'll get you some help.
I don't need help. He does. Hey!
Well, call the cops, man.
all right, so
What?
I'm
What?
upset.
This is disturbing.
Yeah, this is by far the most disturbing thing we've ever watched.
I think so, yeah.
I've been waiting, what is this, season 4? I've been trying to find a way to shoehorn this in.
Wow.
It's
You've done it.
yeah.
Wow. And I'm so glad you got our special guest. Maybe he's got some answers for us later, but
Yeah.
this is stunning.
Right.
So I think it's time for some commercials while we get our brains together.
Yeah. Catch your breath.
These are some attempts in the 90s to like repackage G.I. Joe. The rebranding did not work, I don't think, but these commercials are hilarious to me. Saturday morning cartoons will be right back.
All the Joes will be mine! Never thrown down! The Joes attack with battle copters and air commandos that really fly! The Cobra counterattacks, so the Joes unleash Ninja Force with real ninja action! There's Storm Shadow, Nunchuck, and Shabang! But Cobra's got Slice and Dice! Joe and Cobra Ninja Force, battle copters and air commandos, sold separately! Cobra's finished! No! We've only just begun!
That's disturbing. The guy on the
Mega Marines! Cobra City's Mega Monsters are unstoppable! The Mega Monsters attack with crushing tentacles and gruesome gut bombs! But G.I. Joe Mega Marines come equipped with pressure-molded bioarmor!
Battle damage!
And here's the G.I. Joe Monster Blaster APC with its lock-and-load cannon!
Load, fire!
Mega Marines come with bioarmor! Cobra Mega Monsters and G.I. Joe Monster Blaster APC. Figures and vehicles sold separately. Cave Lab set not available.
You Cobra monsters are pretty tough, but I'm going home.
The live action stuff.
Great. I wish the whole thing was like that.
Yeah.
It's the Joe's new secret weapon, the Armor Bot. It's got a mind and a voice of its own. It's got a crushing gripper, slicing ripper, and robo-gassing guns.
Cool toy, but doesn't fit in with G.I. Joe.
Not in the least.
There's an enemy more dangerous than Cobra, polluting our streets with drugs. But who can stop this evil headman and his headhunters?
Let's take out this trash!
It's the G.I. Joe Drug Elimination Force, armed with battle flash weapons. They fight the evil headman and his drug-pushing headhunters. This is the Joe's most important fight ever, because they're fighting for all of us. Drug Elimination Force, sold separately with battle flash weapons.
Remember, real American heroes don't do drugs.
So there was only one more place for commercials, toys to go in the 90s, and that was to go extreme.
G.I. Joe Extreme! Extreme new heroes! Extreme new villains! Extreme new firepower! Slam, slam, slam! G.I. Joe Extreme! It's all-out slam combat with sight-to-sight, land-to-air missiles! Slam! With new slam firepower, you can blast anything to the extreme!
Battle damage!
Only G.I. Joe Extreme gives you ultra slam firepower! Slam, slam, slam! G.I. Joe Extreme! Extreme times call for extreme heroes! Figures and vehicles sold separately. Slam!
Now back to Saturday morning cartoons.
Totally to the max.
Those looked awesome. Did you guys have any of those?
No.
No, that was after my time.
Yeah, same here. I was confused by G.I. Joe lore because they were all like, Shipwreck and I don't know, the firefighter guy, and
that was his name.
Yeah,
it was Barbecue. I don't want to
Barbecue. Yeah, no. But then there was like Refrigerator Perry, like from the Bears, and then there was Sergeant Slaughter from WWF. So it just kind of like I didn't know who was like those were real people, and then I don't know. Yeah, I was just confused, I guess.
All right, so let's just watch the end of this
horrifying hellscape.
Yes, I was going to say enjoyable nightmare, but you're okay. That's probably right.
Your wife's on her way to bail you out, mister. Meantime, have some tuna fish on the house.
Yeah? Thanks for worrying about my nutrition.
You want me to hold the chicken? Yeah, I wanted to hold it between your knees. Oh, trapdoor.
Sailor.
I didn't see that trapdoor coming.
You don't even know why.
Tuna fish sandwich trapdoor combo, right?
Oh, yeah. That's
like on a bingo card.
Clint, what's happening to...
I like that sound, too.
Oh, wow.
It's down to you and me, Plankton Face.
You too, Scarlet? I don't want that to happen to you.
It won't. Just tell me what Mulaney told you.
I don't remember.
Working on a new special
then
about his
we have
rehab.
a problem, because I don't believe you.
Drop it, Scarlet. Don't make me hurt you. No! Scarlet, don't go. Who's doing this to me? What do you want? No,
how did this air?
This can't be happening
a
to me.
two-part episode. First one airs, they're like, okay.
Oh no! They're alive! They're still alive!
Cautionary elephant.
What's wrong?
Call Doc! Put me back in the hospital.
Mommy, what's wrong with Daddy? I'm scared. Really scared.
He's sick, honey. Terribly sick.
What section, please?
Interrogation.
Thank you. Going down.
By the way, it just gets crazier.
How can it?
We are embarking on a journey, Shipwreck. Just you and I. A journey into your mind. Chula Vista, California, where you grew up. Remember? In the shadow of the San Diego Navy Yards. For as long as you can remember, You wanted to be a sailor, didn't you?
Yeah.
You joined the Navy at 17.
16. I lied about my age.
And you saw the world, didn't you? From the river pirates of Southeast Asia to that tiny island in the South Pacific, where you met Professor Mullaney. Mullaney told you a secret, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
What did he tell you?
I don't know. Something.
Cadet Deming, increase power to factor 7.
The barbarian.
Yes, factor 7.
You remember their names?
I don't remember those twins' names.
Tell me, Mullaney's
Tomax and
secret,
Zaymont.
was it about Temple Alpha?
I don't know.
Was it about the destabilizer formula?
He got into some spin from Brave Star, I think.
Of course. Full power.
Turn the Rejuvenate to full power.
Raiders of Lost Ark.
Yes.
What did Mullaney say? Tell me!
I can't! Not without the code word!
What code word?
Tell me! Tell me the code word! Tell me!
I don't know!
It's subconscious. Dear Lord!
Mullaney only told Lady J, and she's dead!
No! You lie!
I'm eating a bag of better cheddars.
The sailor is useless to us without Lady J.
Less to
or
animate.
Mullaney
Let's see in the
himself.
mouth.
Hardly, Commander.
All we lack
Is the code word.
And just how do you propose to get it?
Leave that to us.
Meanwhile, we recommend
You redouble your efforts to find Mullaney.
Silence!
Twins talk that way in real life.
Join the sailor. We must pry that secret from his mind.
But Polly's working for Cobra.
Aerostat, aerostatics, aerothermodynamics, Irugo, Airy, Aeschylus, Aesculapian.
the computer is reciting
The entire contents
of the unabridged
Oxford English Dictionary.
The
Code word must be in there someplace.
Very clever. Why, we'll have the answer in 6 or 7 years.
They're
Even
reading him the
I
dictionary.
didn't expect failure this soon.
This was to.
By the way, I have thought about that scene where reading the words while
Yeah.
probably once a week for the last 40 years.
Oh, so you saw this was like a big deal for you?
This blew my mind. I mean, it's blowing my mind right now. I've seen it 11 times.
It's actually too captivating. Like I feel like I just
Yeah,
wanna
I
watch
can't
it.
even
I don't wanna
comment. I'm
talk to
just
you
like,
guys. Yeah,
yeah.
it's amazing.
This was to be.
Expected, Commander.
Ah, his sedative
Is wearing off.
We shall simply
Order him another.
What's up, sailor?
Beard. What in the name of Nimitz? It's black again.
What's up, sailor?
Wait a minute. If my beard's not gray, then maybe Lady J's...
What about her? What about her?
Shh! Somebody's coming.
Time for our evening glass of milk, Mr. Delgado.
Thanks, lady.
Is he being drugged?
Wait a minute. No, thanks.
No, you don't.
It's like a little far.
Whose side are you on?
Oh, there's double polys.
Take that, you phony baloney!
electrocuting a...
Have some more milk. It'll calm you down.
You won't get away with... You will...
Do I make more sense to you as a person?
Yeah.
Knowing that I watch
Esthetician.
1000%.
That's what they've been doing to me.
Aesthetics.
6 ways from Sunday.
Cobra.
Ascetes.
You saw him and followed me.
Getting warmer.
And all of this, the hospital, the whole town, it's all a fakeroo.
You're hot.
The flag didn't even go down, did it?
Action Force is the same
And
thing
Lady
as
J
G.I. Joe.
must still be alive. And Cobra's trying to get me to reveal Mulaney's secret formula. But Lady J's the only one who knows the blasted code word. So that means Mara lied to me. She's on Cobra's side. Wait a minute.
John Mulaney's new special called Baby J. Very
How
close
do
to
I know
Lady J.
you're not another phony?
Remember that night in Annapolis?
Okay, I'm convinced.
What happened that night in
Come
Annapolis?
on, we're getting to the bottom of this.
You were
If it
extremely
kills us-
lonely.
Speak for yourself, sailor.
I have to say, of everything we've seen happen so far, including like the people melting, the violence, the like torture scenes, the all of it, the most upsetting thing to me so far has been him forcing that lady to drink milk.
Same here. Same here.
That's what I'm gonna have nightmares about.
Yeah.
It's very Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Synthoids are created from this material
Synthoid?
called pseudoplasm. We now possess almost
George, are
total
you
control
synthoid?
over this material. Now, whereas a meltdown formerly meant destruction for the
Who's that
synthoi,
guy?
the
The
organism can now be
Zartan?
reconstituted.
Temple Alpha to Baroness.
I take
Rattler
Zartan
Squadron cleared for
allergies.
landing.
Son of a bilge rat. Springfield is Temple Alpha.
Son of a
We're
bilge
on
rat.
an island, see? Probably not far from where we met Mulaney. Which means the secret weapon's here too. If we can just find it.
There's a lot happening for a cartoon.
Oh yeah.
But it's
End of
coherent,
the
right?
road, huh?
And I've cut a lot out.
Beats
Yeah, I'm
waiting
still
around for
following
the
it.
snakes. Sure is clean, ain't it? They must be working on something sensitive.
What's it say? What's it say?
Operation Hot Water. It's Mulaney's formula. It's gotta be. We could blow Springfield off the map with this stuff.
Mulaney's joke writing formula.
Yeah, it's about being Catholic as a kid. Right?
Okay, that's
and
the
then,
formula.
And then like singing and dancing.
Right. Dating
If
Olivia
we
Munn.
knew the code word to get the secret out of my skull.
Code word, frogs in winter. Frogs in winter.
Deoxynitrotriphosphate, ammonium hydrochloride fulminate, potassium triglyceride, and thulium isotope 385. The secret ingredient.
But the secret ingredient is love. Love.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Don't drink it, Swabby.
He won't have the chance. Surrender the formula at once if you wish to leave this room alive.
Sorry, sucker, no way.
Let's smear the blighter.
No! You'll ignite the explosive!
Wow, everything blowed up.
Flint, come here and look at this. There's a battle going on out there.
Set course for those fireworks, all deliberate speed.
Dr. Mulaney still doesn't have shoes on, but I'd like to point out.
Oh, is he there?
Yeah.
Lady J, any of the Sky Strikers airworthy?
Oh, I could scare up one or two.
Do it.
Sky Strikers. Guess they could hear the noise
Retail
all the way back on the
$49.95.
flag.
Wrong way, sailor. Head for the beach.
Gotta get Mara and Althea to safety. Mara, Althea.
They're synthoids.
Mara.
In the living room, Hector.
Hi, Daddy.
Yes, darling. Welcome home. To stay.
Oh my God.
Why? I mean, I thought you loved me. Mara, don't! End of the line, synthoid suckers!
Aha! Called it.
Synthoids. They were synthoids.
But I made love to her.
Shipwreck, is that you? Oh.
You old sea dog, you're alive.
We thought we'd lost you. Shipwreck? What happened? Well, was there something important in that house?
Nah, nothing important. Just a dream or two.
He's welling up.
Come on.
God.
Let's go home.
Dear Lord. So he was dreaming of having a family, which he can't do because he's
his narrow urethra.
Yeah, I guess. So. All right.
But I love that cartoon, and it reminds me of like a Philip K. Dick novel. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary. I also feel like I've never heard the word veritable used in a Saturday morning cartoon,
or Mulaney, really.
Yeah, right.
I feel like the scene where the blonde cobra lady mounts him while ghosts are flying around birthed a lot of fetishes back in the day.
Yeah, I've got some plans later. So the reason why I asked Neil Ross to talk was because he shows an incredible range in that. This is usually you just yell the thing that's going to sell the toy, and that's the end of it.
Right.
But he was sad. He was happy. He was crazy. He was a parrot.
Right.
Oh my God, I never really thought about like
two parrots. He was Polly, and then the evil version too.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're going to now listen to Neil Ross, and then we'll come back, and I'll have a final thought.
Okay.
Great.
It's the Shaturday interviews.
Coming to us today from his state-of-the-art home studio is a legend in cartoon voice acting, Neil Ross. He had lead roles on Rambo, Voltron, Inhumanoids, Visionaries, Centurions, among others. He worked on a multitude of shows we've covered right here on Saturday Morning Cartoons. Pandemonium, The Dukes, Rubik the Amazing Cube, Pink Panther and Sons, The Real Ghostbusters, Gem, Rockin' Wrestling, Punky Brewster, Poochie, Defenders of the Earth, and Pro Stars. And these are just some of his 285 and counting acting credits on IMDb. You've heard his voice in movies like Dick Tracy, Quiz Show, Babe, An American Tail, Inner Space, Back to the Future 2, and Being John Malkovich. TV shows like Seinfeld, Murphy Brown, Family Matters. In hit video games like Baldur's Gate, Call of Duty, Mass Effect, Metal Gear Solid, on A&E's Biography, PBS's Nova, as announcer for the Emmy Awards, AFI Lifetime Achievement Awards, and the 75th Academy Awards. Neil, my mind is blown, and I'm totally out of breath. But welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoons.
How do you think I feel?
Yeah.
After all that, it's exhausting.
That's something that viewers can find out by reading your, would you call it a memoir? Your book, your memoir, your autobiography?
I've never been able to figure out what the difference is between an autobiography and a memoir, but here it is. And I would also like to quickly point out it is available on Amazon, and there is also an audio version at Audible, and also available at the website neilbook.com.
Now, I'm going to guess you read the audio version. You didn't farm it out to Frank Welker.
No, we had... I'm sure Frank would have been happy to do it. Bless his heart. He's such a lovely guy. But no, we held highly competitive auditions, and to my amazement, I won.
It's the role you were born to play, I think.
I think it kind of was.
Well, let's watch some of your many voices.
All right, the Friday Night Book Club will now come to order. Let's see, what shall we read tonight?
I propose that right now we form the Spectral Knights, a sacred order dedicated to bringing light to the darkness of our world.
If the General sails that battleship into Tierra Libre, he'll blow your whole country off the map. It's missile time!
But we have no evidence that they're extraterrestrials. We think it came from the center of the Earth. What do you mean, tell it to the Global Inquirer?
Borrowed the holoprojector from Eisenstein's lab, like you said, Beef. I love it, I love it, I love it!
Looks like the party's in full swing. Power, free.
With this gizmo, we'll give Pac-Man such a ghostly nightmare, he'll be afraid to chomp on us for the rest of his life.
Was fun while it lasted, Webhead, but for you, the party's over for good. There, that ought to keep you nice and cozy till the next train comes along.
Surrender or pay the consequences. Come on, Lieutenant. You really want to tell me? You're supposed to, you know.
We can't wait. They'll have to take care of themselves. Come on!
No bots! No! Fool around! Do you know where Voltron is? Tell us. We can save your planet. Wow, it's a lady.
Uh-oh. I'd like her too if she'd just leave me alone.
Don't look like monkeys to me, Torch. They look like trout. Just before you pop them in the frying pan and eat them.
You boys okay? Remember, if you have to ride when it's getting dark, have the right equipment.
Uh-oh. Looks like you're asking for trouble now. And knowing is half the battle.
Boy, there's never anything good on television.
Wow.
That's a lovely montage. Thank you
thank
for
you.
going to the trouble. I appreciate it.
G.I. Joe! G.I. Joe was an ensemble show. You worked alongside many other greats. But while looking through the episodes of the series, I noticed that two of your characters, Shipwreck and Dusty, stand out as characters that have more of an more complexity to them than the others. And like in the Traitor arc, 2 episodes, Dusty abandons G.I. Joe to pay for his mother's medical expenses. And then in There's No Place Like Springfield, Shipwreck is losing his sanity.
I loved Shipwreck. I mean, if you think about it, in G.I. Joe, everybody was either really, really good or really, really bad. And Shipwreck was this ambiguous character. And he reminded me actually of guys that I knew when I was in the Navy who, would skate along just this close to a court martial, but somehow they'd luck out and never pay the price. And they had all kinds of scams. They knew how to get out of certain details they didn't want to do. And as I say, that character just reminded me of some of those guys.
How was Shipwreck initially described to you?
Oh, well, the story of the audition is in the book. I was brought in. There was a drawing of the character and a 1-paragraph description of him, which is basically what you get at an audition. And I started to do a few approaches, and there were several people there, including the director, Wally Burr, but the other people I didn't know. And I could tell that I was giving an underwhelming performance that morning. And I ran out of ideas. I didn't know what the hell to do at that point. So I said, I think that's it for me. And, okay, well, thanks for coming in. And then a guy over in the corner looked me in the eye and he said, have you ever seen a movie called The Last Detail? And fortunately I had, and I knew exactly what he wanted me to do. And I said, let me try one more. And that's when I basically did this Jack Nicholson ripoff, or at least in the way Jack sounded back when he was a young man. I mean, Jack today is somewhere down here, and I can't go there, but it basically, what popped into my head, and I think it's still on YouTube, the movie The Last Detail, a military term meaning assignment, the last assignment, the last job. And he plays a sailor, Billy Badass Badusky, and it's a long Hal Ashby movie, lovely movie. But there is a scene, I think you can still find it on YouTube. It would be The Last Detail bar scene.
Ho, ho, ho. This redneck is talking about firearms. Well, I know that you ain't got nothing but wood under there, my man, because I happened to be in here one night when a certain sailor got it laid up the side of his fucking head. What do you think about that, redneck?
That's what was going through my head when I did the audition that got me the Shipwreck job. So that's the best piece of direction I ever got.
Incidentally, behind me is a character who you also voiced, correct?
Hector Ramirez.
Right. The reporter influenced by Geraldo Rivera. This is, I think, a few years before the chair throwing incident on TV, where he became slightly, probably not suitable for kids' cartoons. But at this point, he was just sort of a kind of a journalist going into goofball phase. what was it, Capone's Vault, etc.
Yes, yeah.
And this sort of, as a character, he tied together 4 series you were on, Inhumanoids, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Gem, and sort of created this multiverse before multiverse was used in everyday conversation about media.
Yeah, I hadn't realized that he appears in all 4 shows. Somebody had to point that out to me. And I think that the appearance that he makes in Transformers, it's somebody else doing the voice.
Oh.
This is Hector Ramirez reporting for your TV News magazine 20 Questions. And below us is the G.I. Joe team.
Tonight, we ask one of the most important questions of our time. Just where are all our teenagers going?
Folks, you saw it here first. Gem, live, and out of control.
We interrupt as the kitchen sinks for this special news bulletin. An emergency session of the UN Security Council.
But the character, yes, the only character who appears in all 4 of those.
Help! He's melting!
You're really carrying this episode. This isn't one where, you've got 20 people in a room, and you step up to to the plate every 10 minutes. This is all you.
Yeah, nobody warned me in advance. I just showed up, and they handed out the scripts, and we started to rehearse. I realized, yes, the mantle of responsibility is descended upon me for these 2 episodes, and I must rise to the occasion.
Pretty intense. It was coming back from playing wiffle ball to that was kind of a shock. So, this is a Twilight Zone-esque. It's this person. He's finally adjusted to this dream reality. Well, this perfect future. It's a fraud, and it prepared me for the rest of the '80s. I think, which Iran-Contra, probably the most controversial part of this episode, and one that gets cited frequently, is when Shipwreck goes to try to rescue his family.
Hi, Daddy.
Yes, darling, welcome home. To stay. Why? I mean, I thought you loved me.
Mara, don't!
I'm not sure if anybody has mentioned this to you, but that particular scene, that was it was edited for television. I don't know that you would then or now be able to show a girl holding a bazooka in quite this way.
Hi, Daddy.
Yes, darling, welcome home. Stay. Why? I mean, I thought you loved me.
Daddy, you're a real trip.
Mara, don't!
So you can see where what they cut there. And you did the voice in these episodes of Polly the parrot as well.
Polly the parrot, yeah.
Yeah. So you were having conversation with yourself.
It's funny. Sometimes Frank is Polly.
Yeah.
Wally would forget who was the parrot. And you go, all right, Frank, you do Polly. And Frank would look at me, and I'm going, go ahead, pal, be my guest. And so in some episodes it's Frank, and some it's me.
Yeah, sometimes when I wake up in the morning, when I hear myself speaking, I wonder if Frank Welker is doing my voice. None of us can ever know. That's how good he is.
The critique at the time was these are nothing but half-hour toy commercials. That's all they are. And I don't think that's true, because if that was true, you and I wouldn't be here. You'd be doing a podcast about something else. And fans wouldn't be showing up 40 years later to meet us at conventions.
Well, thank you so much, and continue your great work.
Well, thank you, George. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you.
Neil Ross, what a mensch. Great insights, a great voice.
That was incredible. Such a good find, George. Thank you.
And you'll be able to see the longer version where he talks about how he got in the business. Very fascinating, and a very nice guy. And get his book at neilbook.com. And did you guys learn anything?
I learned about synthoids, nightmares, but I don't know. George, did you learn anything?
There's a lesson for all of us here. While most shows we watch on Saturday morning cartoons are merely shatty, we find ourselves shattered by this 2-episode arc of G.I. Joe, or to our friends across the pond, Action Force. Shipwreck's descent into madness mirrors the fundamental struggle we all face. We strive throughout our lives to achieve success, safety, and comfort, yet we may be constitutionally unable to accept these goals once they have been attained. We fear complacency and pleasure and find fault with contentment. Our drive state can never be sated. Perhaps we are biologically incapable of genuine fulfillment. For if our pre-human ancestors had ever been able to accept the affluence of their natural situation, they'd have never left the trees in search of a better place to throw their waste. This, then, is the balance we seek between accepting our lot, even at the risk of personal putrefaction, and becoming a paranoid loon driven to psychosis because at any moment, our friends, our family, even our parrot, may turn out to be synthetic creatures mimicking a reality we only wish we had. So now we know, but knowing is only half the battle. Because as I always say, the more you battle is twice the knowing.
Very insightful as always, George. And I'm going to divide my life in between like before and after seeing that that cartoon. That's, just I've never seen anything like it.
Me either. And I'm never drinking milk again. Yeah.
Quit Saturday morning cartoons like muck. I will. We'll be back next week.
Okay, plankton face.
We're going to be back next week with a very special Halloween edition. With Caitlin, you're joining us for Mask Me Another, America's favorite Halloween-based game show, right?
I can't wait. I'm ready.
And Joe will be back from traveling as well.
Well, for all of us here, happy
Saturday, everybody.
Bye.